This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Welcome to Spirit's Journey, coming to you live on Truth Frequency Radio and simulcast on Oneness Talk Radio. Your hosts are Patrick and Catherine Andrews.
Join us each week as we explore a wide range of metaphysical topics such as dreams, astrology, intuitive readings, and life purpose. You'll receive practical guidance so that you can live your most awesome life.
Learn more about what we do at intuitiveschool.com and connect with us on Facebook at Spirit's Journey Radio. Hello and welcome to Spirit's Journey. We are coming to you live on Truth Frequency Radio. We are also simulcast on Oneness Talk Radio, and you can find us on iHeartRadio. Tune in to TalkStream Live. We are here in the Heartland holding the energy for spiritual truth and awareness. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Catherine. Welcome, everyone. So we've got a special Halloween show for you today where we're going to be delving into all things Scorpio-like, celebrating Scorpio birthdays, talking about the astrological significance going on right now because there's some big stuff. And how does all this relate to Halloween and Day of the Dead? So we're going to be talking about all this cool stuff. So stay tuned. And we're going to begin this segment talking about astrology because there's a big deal tomorrow. I want to talk about that. So tomorrow we have a new moon in Scorpio. So celebrating Scorpio. And of course, my husband's birthday is coming up as well. He's a Scorpio. And so to understand the significance, it's no coincidence, in my opinion, that Halloween and Day of the Dead occur during the time of Scorpio. So if we think about the scorpion, which is the image associated with Scorpio, you know, they hide out in these dark caves. Nobody really sees scorpions a lot. And that's kind of the essence of these people. Scorpios like to delve into these parts of the subconscious, into the underlying mysteries of the world to understand what's really going on. And so that Scorpio tendency allows us to see beneath the surface. And I think now, more than ever, it's so important that we develop this ability to see beyond what's really going on. And so we can pull on this energy of perception, of direct knowing. And of course, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So we have to talk a little about the essence of this planet. So Pluto is about death and destruction and rebirth. So it doesn't mean physically, but sometimes it does. But in a spiritual sense, as we change, we outgrow old patterns, we transform ourselves. And really that is what life is about transformation of the self. And as we do so, we respond and look at the world differently. So it's a much quicker process and more effective than outside trying to manipulate and change things around. So Pluto in Scorpio is reminding us that the world is the outer projection of what's going on inside of us. And so if we don't like what's going on in the outer world, we could take the hard route and try to change that. But the essence is about transformation of the self. And then as we transform, we see that our outer circumstances change and the way that we view and perceive the world changes as well. It's really miraculous. We were just talking the other day with somebody and about the idea that when we respond negatively or in a violent or aggressive manner to what's going on in the world, then we become part of the problem. You see, and so if we can change the way our perception about what's really going on in the world, then we will respond differently and we will become part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So that is all the essence of Scorpio, is this inner transformation. And as we know, as the inner changes, so does the outer. So putting this into practicality, tomorrow we have a new moon in Scorpio. So a new moon is an opportunity to visualize and focus on desires and how we want to bring those out into the world. So if you've got a visualization list, if you have a list of desires that you want fulfilled, now is the time to pull that list out, look at it, really focus on it. And especially tomorrow as well with that new moon is bringing in these new things into your mind, because what you visualize, what you focus on grows. So we want to be clearing our mind right now of negativity, removing the things that we don't want to manifest and focusing on what we do want to manifest. Scorpio energy is intense. As I just described with Pluto, Pluto's a very intense sign or planet. Therefore, its ruler is intense. The sign of Scorpio is intense. So on the one hand, if we're focusing on things that we don't want, we can have destructive thoughts, self-sabotaging energy. Therefore, it's really important with the Scorpio energy that we hold in mind a positive view of what we want in our lifetime. That's one of the key things in preparation for tomorrow's full moon. So in addition to the full moon in Scorpio, we have Venus in Scorpio. All right, so let's talk about this Venus in Scorpio a little bit because it's pretty important as well. So Venus is obviously the planet of love. It's the planet of attraction. So with Scorpio in that sign, we have the ability to really visualize and intensely help manifest desires. So in terms of relationships, things can get a little heated, a little bit intense. We just had an experience with that with somebody else who happens to have a Scorpio rising. Things got a little intense. It's bringing things to the forefront. Venus or Scorpio is a fixed sign. And so you may even find if you've got some heavy Scorpio influence that some of that rigidity, that fixity is coming out. Scorpios wanted a certain way with that fixedness. And so when you try to, although because it's a water sign, it is more flexible than some of the other fixed signs. So when you present a Scorpio with a new idea, at first they might, grumble about it. But that water, they may be open to looking at it more so than the other fixed signs. So that would be something that we can work with in terms of our own desires. Are we rigid? Okay. What can we be more flexible with in terms of how we want our desires to come forward? That's something that we can practice right now with this Scorpio and Venus. In terms of love and relationships, Scorpio says, get a little bit deeper in your relationships. It's time to, have some long talks. Some contemplative time together. Again, it's like looking at something in the relationship that has been ignored, the shadow part of the relationship. That's the Scorpio part. So I want you all, if you're in a relationship, to look at some of the things in the relationship that may have been going on that you're not completely happy with, but you haven't wanted to talk about or bring it out for some reason. This is an opportunity to get deep, to bring it out, because as we know, the ruler Pluto says, if there is something that's not for our highest good, the universe and Pluto will find a way to remove it from our lives. So this is our opportunity to take charge, look at what is good, what we want in our life, and what no longer serves us, and to completely release that which no longer serves us. That's the essence of this Pluto and Scorpio working itself out. So for Scorpios in general, everybody who's a Scorpio sun sign, listen up. It is your birthday month, so happy birthday to all those Scorpios out there. So what does it mean when it's your birthday? Well, there's a couple major things that go on. First of all, we have what's called a solar return chart. And so on your birthday, your chart, wherever you're at the day of your birthday, you're going to reset your chart for that geographic location. So if you're not in the place where you were born, you put where you're going to be on your birthday, and you create a new chart, which is called a solar return chart. And it creates a certain set of planetary energies that describe your year. Okay. So the energy does, in a sense, reset at your birthday. The sun returns to its natal place of birth. And so you have an opportunity to have a fresh start. So I would highly suggest, if you know an astrologer, contact your astrologer, have them cast your solar return chart so that you can get a heads up on your birthday this year. At intuitiveschool.com, we do offer these future types of readings. So if you don't have an astrologer already, you want to try somebody new, check us out at intuitiveschool.com. It is one of the best ways, in my opinion, to get a heads up on the year in front. Now, for Scorpios, I would just say that there's a lot of support because there's so many planets in your sign. At the same time, it's really heating things up and intensifying things for Scorpios. And because it's water, the feeling you might be experiencing now is overwhelm. Okay? Overwhelm. At the same time, it's an opportunity for you to really own and claim that depth perception, that ability to see beyond, to guide and listen to your own desires, your own visualizations. It's really right time for that. Now, we also have Mercury in Scorpio. So Mercury is the planet of communication, the planet of the mind. When it is in Scorpio, we get really deep in our thinking. It's really important to carve out some quiet time to either focus on writing, journaling, meditation, even dream interpretation. So by the way, the second half of the show, we are going to open up the phones. If anybody has a dream that they would like interpreted, please feel free to call in to the call line. We will be interpreting dreams. Patrick, do you want to give the listeners the number?
Yeah, so the number on the second half of the show, if you are interested in getting your dream interpreted in the U.S., it is 213-233-3998. And in the UK, it is 44203-393-2871. So I did want to mention just something about Scorpios. If you're in a relationship with a Scorpio, I'm going to give away one of our inner secrets. So I might be banned from the Scorpio Secret Society for revealing this. But there's two things I just wanted to bring up as a Scorpio. Is the first thing is a Scorpio is a fixed sign. So if you're wanting to get a Scorpio to make a decision, or especially if you're wanting a Scorpio to change his or her mind, don't push them to make an instant decision, because being a fixed sign, they want some time to mull it over. So if you push them for an immediate answer or an immediate decision on whatever it is that you're talking to them about, you are likely to be disappointed, because they're probably going to dig in and hold their ground. But if you make your case and give them some time to mull it over, then you might be surprised that Scorpios are actually quite willing to be flexible and adaptable, and you have a much better chance of having them see your side or go to your side, or whatever it is that you're wanting to communicate or to accomplish with your Scorpio. And so the other thing is that also emotionally, Scorpio, it's a fixed water sign, which I like to think of that as ice. And so it's really more like an iceberg, that what you see is just on the surface. So Scorpios may seem kind of aloof or very cold sometimes on the exterior and very controlled, but on the interior, they actually have very intense emotions going on. But a lot of times Scorpios don't want to reveal everything that's going on, because there's this sense that they might come under somebody else's power or control, be manipulated because they're revealing too much about what their real motivations are and things like that. So, the Scorpios have a keen sense of self-power, and they, if misused, Scorpios can also take advantage of that power. So if you're in a relationship with a Scorpio who's misusing his or her power, they might try to manipulate you, or you might see them trying to manipulate other people. But the true nature of Scorpio is to understand the nature of power. That's why there's this focus on creation and destruction, because that's the forces of power and energy at work. So just be aware that there's this intense energy going on under the surface, even though they don't always show that. And just, be aware of that as you're, you don't necessarily have to tread lightly, but just be aware sometimes there's that intense energy going on.
Great perspective from a true Scorpio himself. Thank you, Patrick. So I do want to give everybody the heads up. October 28th, there is Mars square Saturn. And so this is a time where we're really going to have to control our compulsions and our habits. If not, we may find ourselves in an accident, for example. or in any kind of self-sabotage behavior. So that's a little difficult energy we're going to be experiencing on Monday, the 28th, with that square going on. It's also, however, a time where you can be really disciplined. Saturn is going to get the job done. And so you may find that, wow, you can finally get something done that you've been wanting to. There's a lot of intense energy. So what I would say is exercise would be really important these next couple days to get the energy out. So otherwise it's, could come out explosively. Don't repress. So even some deep breath work would be a great activity over the next couple days, in addition to any kind of exercise. So also, for those of you that are going to be doing major travel plans over the holidays, what I would say is try to solidify those holiday plans before October 31st, Halloween, because Mercury goes retrograde. Here it goes, October 31st through November 20th. So what does that mean when Mercury goes retrograde? Well, Mercury, the planet of communication, is going to be slowing down. So all kinds of communication, there are potential for snafus, emails not getting to where they need to go, letters not getting to where they need to go, things coming out the wrong way or being interpreted the wrong way. All that is potential with Mercury going retrograde. If you do something big like buy an airline ticket, or make some big travel plans during that time, what I would suggest is double, triple check the plane reservation, the train, however you're getting there. Because like I said, the opportunity for communication issues is heightened during this time. The good thing is that it will be direct after November 20th. So in terms of holiday travel, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever travel plans you're celebrating, things can go a little bit smoother if you've not made plans during that retrograde period. And if you did and you triple checked it, then you should be good. All right, that's the next big coming up thing. So I also want to talk about another big event astrologically that recently occurred. Now, since April, the planet Pluto has been retrograde. So again, I just described what retrograde is. It means that the planet slows down. And so all the activity related to that planet goes inward, and it's a time to kind of contemplate the energies of that planet. Now, when it goes direct then, if you have used the retrograde period wisely, which means to go in to think about the energies of that planet and what you need to learn from it. So when it goes direct, you're ready to go full force. So since April with Pluto in retrograde, Pluto was about transformation and getting rid of things that no longer serve us. Okay. So now that Pluto has just turned direct, we should feel like a little less stuck, particularly since Pluto rules Scorpio. If you are a Scorpio, you may have felt like you were in a holding pattern almost. Because again, when the planet goes inward, the ability to make outward movements, choices, decisions, just feels like it's just not the right time. And when you try to do something, it gets complicated. Just like with Mercury. A lot of times when you try to do a lot of big things when Mercury is retrograde, it's like, wow, it's just not working out. Okay. So Pluto moving direct, especially for Scorpios, it's like, there's been a flow. Have you, Patrick, noticed like all of a sudden things flowing more in terms of your creativity and thoughts and ideas that you've been rumbling around with feel like they can now kind of begin to take root?
Yeah, I definitely do. In fact, there's been some stories rolling around in my mind for some time, and I just felt like they just kept rolling around and around and around. And so finally there was one of them that came to the surface, and I felt like it needed an avenue. So I actually started writing a screenplay to get my story out.
And it's not just an ordinary screenplay. It's got a very deep focus of like, we don't want to give it away, but anyway.
Yeah, no spoiler alerts. You're going to have to watch for it on Netflix.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think it's going to make it there because you got a great concept for it. So Pluto is the essence of transformation. And one of the ways that we transform, of course, is through our creative endeavors. So all of us, though, even if we are not Scorpio sun signs, we may have Scorpio represented somewhere else on the chart, either planetary-wise or affecting one of the houses. So whatever area you have Scorpio on your chart, that's an area in your life where you should feel like, oh, I'm getting some more flow here. Things are easing up. So that's wonderful. And especially it's going to be even better if you've used the time since April to kind of process and let go of those things that you no longer need, whether it's an activity, whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whatever it is, and moved forward with what you do want. It should make that a little bit easier flow. So we're not going to do astrology for November because we're not quite there yet, and I've overloaded you already with a lot of the cool stuff happening right now. So stay tuned in future shows for what's coming up in November. But I do want to mention, once again, we are doing the Global Spiritual Awakening Conference, November 16th and 17th. It's going to be an amazing lineup of people. Dee Wallace, Dan Millman, Alan Cohen, Michael Murdad, Gary Renard. You've heard a lot of those amazing speakers on our radio show the past couple of weeks. There are more coming. We're going to have Alan Cohen next week. And after that, we're going to have Theo on the following week on the 9th. So you can hear all these speakers in one full weekend, which is November 16th, November 17th. It is an online conference. In other words, you don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. Just tune in on your computer, sitting at your couch, and you have an array of amazing speakers. Patrick is going to be doing a sound healing.
Right. So it's going to be a combination of the 12 Power Singing Bowls from Unity Village. It's the 12 powers that were developed by Charles Fillmore. And so each one of those affects a different part of the body, as well as affects a different area of your consciousness. And then that's also combined with the primal tones of the Australian didgeridoo. So the singing bowls are very celestial. The didgeridoo is very primal. And in fact, we're going to give you just a little bit of a taste of that coming up.
Awesome. He's got the bowls right here. So get ready for some sound immersion, which we're going to be sharing with you guys today. I am going to be presenting as well at the conference, and my focus is life purpose. So if you are confused, what are you supposed to be doing this lifetime? You hate your job, wherever you're at, you're not sure what you should be doing, you're in a bad relationship. This life purpose work that I do covers all areas of life. You're understanding your challenges, understanding your talents, how to put those together to master your life purpose and not allow sabotaging blocks to get in the way. So it's going to be an amazing course. Please join us November 16th. Go to globalspiritualawakeningconference.com. Get your tickets early. So that's a big event happening in November. But getting back to the astrology and numerology for this month, I do want to talk about the numerology going on right now. So it is 2019, which is a universal year number 3. We've only got basically 2 more months to finish this out. So a universal number 3 says this has been a year of a lot of communication. And oh my gosh, right? If you turn on the news or whatever, you're just bombarded with that. It has also been a year of creativity and self-expression. So this is your opportunity the next couple months to really express your true self, to communicate. Now, particularly this month of October that we're finishing out is a 4 month, the number 4, okay? So what that means is this has been a month of hard work. A 4 is getting stability going. That means working, paying the bills, lining up things in your life so that you kind of have your ducks in a row. I don't know about all of you. Everybody I've talked to is like, whoo, this has been one heck of a busy month. A lot of hard work. I would attest to that myself. It's been a lot. But I've recognized I've been putting in place a lot of things for future events, signing up for a lot of conferences, getting courses online, all those really difficult little details that need to be done. So if you have not been keeping your nose to the grindstone this month, getting things in place, you've got a couple more days to do so, right? Because each month we change numbers. So November is going to be a much more relaxed, kind of interesting month. It's universally, it's going to be a 5-month. So in numerology, 5 is like the wild card. We never quite know what's going to transpire in a 5-month. Could be an interesting travel. Could be interesting holiday time. So, who's all coming together at Thanksgiving for you. It could be a very interesting interchange. Maybe you're just going to blow off the holidays altogether and go take a trip. That's kind of the energy of 5. It says, let's do something different. Let's be creative. Let's break out of the routine and the tradition and do something new. So you may be inspired to do that this year as well. And then as we move into December, universally, it's a new number 6, which actually will really help create a sense of family and tradition for the holidays, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Christmas, whatever you celebrate. The 6 energy says it's time to devote energies to community and family. So maybe you're going to help out at the soup kitchen. Maybe you're going to, feed the hungry. Maybe you're going to do, Christmas for families that can't afford gifts or help with something like that. There's so many charities and so many things available. That's what I would suggest for December, is be thinking about ways to give.
All right. Well, we are heading into the break, and so we are at the bottom of the hour. We're going to be going into a short break. While we're in the break, please check out the Spirit's Journey page on tfrlive.com, and you can become a supporter of Truth Frequency Radio. 50% of your contribution is split between TFR and Spirit's Journey to help us continue offering you these programs. This is Spirit's Journey on Truth Frequency Radio, being simulcast on One Is Talk Radio. See you on the other side.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
Radio being simulcast on One Is Talk Radio.
And Patrick is going to immerse us in some beautiful sounds to begin with. So if you all are in a place where you can get cozy, lie down. If you're driving, don't do that. And we're going to hear the singing bowls and the didgeridoo to give you a taste of a sound healing bath.
So just go ahead and relax. If you're driving, please be safe. Of course, if you're operating heavy machinery, just listen as we go. This will just give you a little taste.
All right, folks. I hope that got you relaxed. It did me. I'm like zoned out after that. That was awesome, Patrick. That's a sample of what you guys are going to get. It's going to be a whole concert at the Global Spiritual Awakening Conference. We do have a lot of dreams that have come in. People have emailed us some dreams that we're going to interpret for you guys. I also do want to announce a big showing, however, talking about Scorpio energy and things coming out to the world. The movie Vaxxed 2, VAXXED 2, The People's Truth, is now rolling out. The official rollout is going to be November 6th. However, I think that if you want to get a showing in your town, then go ahead, find your local theaters, call them up, say, hey, do you want to show Vaxxed 2, The People's Truth? If you have not seen Vaxxed, the movie, the first one, you might want to see that first before you see this one. But I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait to go see it myself. So we are going to move on and talk about our dreams. We've had a couple people call in. The first one was Marlene called in with this dream. She said, my husband and I drove to South Carolina for the weekend. We arrived at night, and the first thing we did was walk to the beach house to see the ocean. There were lots of people out there, and I asked the hotel lady, which is the best beach? And she tells me there are these huge creatures out in the water, but not to worry about them. And from the window, we could see another beach and people swimming. I went to the hotel counter to check in, and there were 2 bowls of various nuts on the counter that I ate. Later, I was driving in my car, and I passed my husband. He rolled down the window and asked me why I was in a different car. I didn't have an answer for him. Okay, Marlene, thank you for that dream. So what I would say is, first of all, you're exploring new ways of thinking related to South Carolina. So since you're in South Carolina, you would think about 2 qualities that you associate with that city. So you're lacking some kind of awareness right now because you're driving at night. But your focus is on your emotions. You want to get to the ocean. Water is emotions. And there's a lot of your parts of yourself that are experiencing these emotions because there's a lot of people swimming. So each one of those people would be an example of parts of yourself experiencing these emotions. You consult with the part of yourself that knows. That's the hotel lady. And you're wanting to learn that there's, some habitual ways that you use your emotions. The creatures, which is an animal, would be a habitual part of yourself. You go to a place in your subconscious mind where you can easily connect with others. That would be the hotel. And there's some knowledge there for you, all these bowls of nuts that you indulge in. But then you have this greater awareness. You go to the window and you look out. And so you see that, you have more awareness of how you observe your emotions because you're just watching the people at the beach. Then you recognize there's some disconnect with your physical body. And that's where you see your husband in a different car. And so you're not quite sure why this disconnect is happening. Like, why are you in one car and why is your husband in another? So a suggestion might be that maybe you do some yoga or some meditation, something like that. So in essence, the dream has to do with your emotional awareness, becoming more aware of that, and specifically pinpointing what does South Carolina mean for you. Okay, I hope that helped. And we have another one from Charlotte. Okay. This is kind of a short dream. I was in a room with a lot of other people. One woman was naked on the couch playing a large instrument. I think to myself, she must like to be naked. All right. So as y'all know, we've written the book, Naked in Public, Dream Symbols Revealed. So we talk about nakedness as being open and revealing with our true self. So this dream is that you're seeing various parts of yourself and various ways of thinking. That's all these people in the room. And you're recognizing that sometimes you're very open and honest, and that's this nakedness. Playing an instrument represents harmony. I remember I can't think of the name now, but there's a great spiritual teacher that says, if you want to understand the universe, just listen to music or play music. All right. I thought that was pretty interesting. So anyway, in music, then playing an instrument is this idea of using various parts of yourself to create harmony. So in some ways, being open and honest for you is harmonious. And it really makes sense because we teach in our classes all the time that the more that you relate your true thoughts and feelings to other people, you're being real, the inner matches the outer, the pictures in your mind match the language that you speak. It creates a flow within yourself, and hence you tend to experience more harmony and cooperation in your life. Okay. So I hope that helped Charlotte. Also, keep enjoying being open and honest because it's obviously serving you well. All right. We've got another dream here from Marcus. All right, Marcus from California. Okay. So his dream goes like this. I was with my old friend at her house, Carol, and you described Carol as being a good friend, although she sometimes can be hurtful. Anyway, you're at her home. You go into this room, and there's a huge round circle on the floor. You step into this huge dish, and then there was a toilet with a cat litter box under it. And there was a huge circle, like a urinal, and you needed to go to the bathroom, but it was so strange that you didn't know how to use it. Suddenly, the dish lifted off the ground and went almost to the ceiling. You decided to try the bathroom in the urinal, but it was difficult. And then the dream ended. Well, I'm glad that you shared this dream because a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about, naked dreams or naked going to the bathroom dreams, all those kind of embarrassing things. So anyway, basically this dream is saying that there's a part of yourself that holds a lot of wounds that have hurt you in the past. And this type of thinking reminds you of feeling rejected. So this would have to do with your friend Carol. You're at her house, and there's some old wounds there because she's been hurtful for you at times, okay? But you feel a need to release, and that has to do with this idea of going to the bathroom, okay? And when we go to the bathroom, it's like letting go of things that we no longer need. And the type of toilet, however, in this dream is really different than what you're used to, kind of indicating that you're experiencing with a new way of releasing thoughts, releasing things that no longer serve you. The fact that there is a cat litter box, so the cat is a habitual creature. So it's basically indicating that the way you hold on to pain and rejection is kind of habitual, okay? And so you're looking to perhaps change that. However, your attempt to release in this new way is proving challenging. Remember, you just could not go to the bathroom correctly with this kind of weird toilet. So really, Marcus, I would validate you for attempting to release these old wounds. Pain is a signal that there's something unhealed within you, within ourselves, right? So keep taking baby steps towards releasing these old wounds, and I think that you will be on your way. It's all about release. The minute we start holding on to things, that's when we run into problems, health problems, relationship problems, you name it. So it's all about releasing. At intuitiveschool.com, we offer various types of readings that can help where you're blocked and where you need to release. We have another dream from Missy from Oklahoma. Okay, Missy. So your dream that you sent in to us, that you have several people on a college campus and they all go to Starbucks. And this guy bought everyone coffee drinks. That sounds pretty good dream. You were supposed to do an intuitive reading on a person. And instead of sitting down to do them like you normally do, you walked around and did the reading standing up. And you went to person and gave them this kind of like psychic reading. One girl lifted up her shirt and her back was covered with bug bites. And she asked you what was wrong. I told her it was because she was inconsistent and jumped from one thing to the next. Then someone showed you a bottle of herbs that they had and read the bottle, which described a remedy for eye potions. Okay. So basically, Missy, what I would say is that you're focused on learning because this dream takes place on a college campus. And he wants to boost, or you want to boost your mental energy level, because coffee has to do with, hyping yourself up physically. So in the dream, it's boosting your mental ability because you want to learn more. And the knowledge that you take in is going to make you more mentally alert. And that is the coffee. Okay. However, it also causes you to be hyperperceptive. And so that's why all of a sudden these readings that you normally do sitting down, you have to stand up to do these readings. So that's pretty interesting. So I would say that there's a part of you that understands healing and can help you improve your perception. That's the person that has these herbs for the eyes. So physically, eyes help us see. So in terms of language symbols in the language of mind, eyes are our perception. It's our mental ability to see, okay? And so you're really learning about your perception and perhaps able to heal it. That's pretty cool. I would say as a suggestion for this dream is that you might benefit from a calming activity like yoga, breath work, walking a labyrinth, whatever you do for relaxation, a bubble bath, anything really I think would help. And also whatever kind of readings you do may even help you with your readings as well. Awesome dream, Missy. Thank you so much. Okay, and we have one more from Sarah we're getting people all over the place today. Sarah from North Carolina. Awesome. Okay, Sarah says, I was going into this house from the deck outside, and in the porch, there were all these wasps that got in. I quickly opened the door and shooed them outside. We looked around the house, and I was trying to decide what parts to paint. Then I was at school, and I was looking at the work area, which was messy. I was debating if I should fix it up or not. Then I realized that I was late to a class, but someone covered for me. I figured since it was the beginning of the school year that I could say I was late because I was having a meeting with the principal. Okay, Sarah, so what I would say, first of all, is that you're examining a new part of your mind, which would be you're like coming into the house from the deck. So kind of like looking at your mind from a different perspective, because normally we go in through the front door, okay? But you have these potentially dangerous habits, these wasps, that want to interfere with your thinking. Wasps can sting. So this is a habit that definitely could be harmful to you. But you're able to keep these habits at bay and explore your mind and consider your creativity, painting the house. Anything to do with painting and stuff has to do with creatively using your mind. However, I would say you're kind of disorganized about your goals in life because, this work desk was all messy. And so this causes you to kind of miss out on some of your learning that you could have because you missed a class as a result. And then, you look for excuses as to why you may be missing out on your learning. So I think that this dream is kind of signaling for you this need that you have to avoid negative habits, which are the wasps, and to get more mentally organized, right? So maybe you call in a feng shui expert. Remember, we've had Teresa on from 5 Element Foodies. She incorporates feng shui into her teachings, and so she might be somebody that you would want to contact to help with organization. There's people that are clutter coaches. I mean, we got all kinds of people now to help with organizing. I just was teaching a class, and the student was saying that she is not good at organization, so she actually hires a professional organizer. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we can learn through the model of other people that are definitely organized. So do we have time for one more dream?
Sure.
Okay. All right, this is from Mike in Pennsylvania. Okay, Mike. Your dream is you were preparing for your cousin to come over for dinner. You say, I was thinking about what to prepare for him and wondered if we should go to a restaurant or if we should eat in. I started cooking something and then turned on the TV, and there was this lady teaching yoga. I stopped cooking and did some of the yoga poses shown on TV. All right, Mike. So food is the basic essence of this dream. And food has to do, obviously, physically, it nourishes the body. So in the language of mind, we would say that food nourishes the mind. It feeds the soul, okay? So it's information, wisdom, knowledge, okay? And so you're preparing to interact with this quality of yourself, which is your cousin. So again, think of two qualities that describe your cousin. And those are the parts of yourself that you're looking to interact with, learn with. And you're wondering, well, what's the best way to gain some deeper understanding of this part of myself? In other words, should you go out to dinner or should you eat in? So you're wondering, where is the best knowledge to be found? Do I make it myself? Is it within me, my own kitchen? Or do I need to go to a restaurant? Is there something out there that's going to offer me better information? Ultimately, you realize, hey, I have all the information I need. I need to take it out of the fridge and prepare it. In other words, you've got the tools within yourself. And you put those tools to use. You actually cook the dinner. And then you kind of redirect your focus to the TV with the yoga going on. So yoga for the body is great exercise, right? It keeps you physically limber. So in the language of mind, yoga keeps your mind mentally alert, mentally flexible. And so you go ahead and do the yoga, which means, opening up your mind, which again would make it easier than to eat the meal because you're like mentally flexible. Yeah, I don't have strong opinions or beliefs that are going to block this new information from coming to me. And so I'd really say that this dream is showing that you're preparing with great care to connect with another part of yourself. And there's a lot of learning going on. So that's awesome, Mike. So thank you for tuning in. If you want to broaden your learning even more for everybody out there as well, please visit us at intuitiveschool.com. We have some amazing online classes. We've done classes so many years in person. I know everything's moving now. We want to reach more people to the computer, the internet. So we've rolled out our amazing Art of Dream Interpretation course online. So if you go to intuitiveschool.com, you're going to see our dream course there under dreams. We also have 2 more months left of 2019. I have my future predictions class from 2019 still available. Because the year is almost over, I have reduced this course in half. It's only $24. It's an amazing bargain. It's going to give you a heads up on the last 2 months of the year, as well as being a great guide for you to kind of look over the past 10 months of the year and see if you were in alignment with the energies that were there for you. So come on, guys, $24. It's a great bargain. Come January 2020 Future Predictions class will be rolling out as well. So stay tuned for that. As well, we're going to have an exciting course called Discover Your Life Purpose Masterclass. It's one of my signature courses I've been teaching for about 20 years now. Finally getting it all online. So for those of you who are interested in life purpose, what you're here to do, trying to understand gifts and talents and your challenges, that is going to be online available for you as well.
Well, some people may not have gotten the information for the Global Awakening Spiritual Conference at the first half. So how is it that they actually can find that so that they can sign up for it?
So globalspiritualawakeningconference.com. You can go to our website, intuitiveschool.com or masteryourlifepurpose.com. You will see the icon there to buy your tickets at intuitiveschool.com under events.
All right. Well, we have loved having you all with us. This hour goes by so fast. You can connect with us on Facebook at Spirits Journey Radio. Be sure to like our page, and you can be informed of all of our new guests as they come up. You've been listening to Spirits Journey live on Truth Frequency Radio, simulcast on Oneness Talk Radio. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Catherine. Next Saturday, join us for Alan Cohen. It's an amazing conversation we have with him.
All right. Goodbye for now.